from 26 yards out. Housewright fumbles the ball. It's going to be recovered by WT. Tyrell Higgins, the senior from Schertz, Texas, saves the game for WT, and the Buffs are moving on.
And now starts to pull away from the pack as they sprint to the finish line, and Minor going to make it back-to-back gold medals. Something happened, working goal line extended on the far side, centering pass to Gustafsson, and Gustafsson shoots and scores. Minor trying to separate herself from everybody. Don't sleep on Lily Williams. Lily Williams comes up with the upset.
On a 2nd and 11, Housewright rolling to his left, pointing out directions, flips it out, and it's going to be picked off. WT with its 3rd interception of the day. This is Torian Oakley.
Back to Orlando, starting his dodge from way out top, right-handed cradle. Thought about a shot, now beats his defender and then beats Beelman.
Rolling that way, doesn't see Patrick Youngman, and Youngman with a huge sack, back-to-back tackles for loss for the redshirt freshman.
Paris giving Sloan a run for her money as those two pull away from the pack, but here comes Sloan. 2 more hurdles to go, and Sloan is golden yet again.
Kyrie Robinson in the backfield along with Jace Jackson. They hand off to Robinson, back to Vaughn, a little flea flicker. Vaughn going deep for Allen. It's going to be underthrown. Nice adjustment by Allen. Caught at the 20, and Allen into the end zone. What a play. How about that? Jared Smith replacing Tyrese House as the return man here, and WT trying to get something on the onside, and they do. So the coaches up top must have seen something from the first couple kickoffs, and Kevin Van Voorhis kicked this one and picked it up himself, waited for it to go 10 yards, and now the officials conferring to make sure that it did go the full 10 yards, and they're pointing to that spot at the 45-yard line. And they're going to give it to WT, so what a job by WT noticing something in the McMurray return that they liked and taking advantage of it, and what a heads-up play by Kevin Van Voorhis to let that ball go 10 yards, and then as soon as it did, he fell right on it.
Well, you know, it's like you said, they see something in the lineup that makes them think, okay, if we're going to do this right now, if they're going to play this setup, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of it, and it really was. It wasn't even a squib kick. I mean, he just barely tapped it, and he followed it along, waited till it passed the 10 yards, and sat on it. Buffalo offense back at it. And again, my apologies to Jeremy Rowan. I didn't want to discredit him. That's his 3rd touchdown on the year receiving.
Vaughn going to the air. Now he hands off on a delayed draw to Aaron Harris, and Harris has some running room inside McMurray territory, still on his feet. And he'll be wrapped up right at about the 40-yard line. Craig Watts got in there late trying to give the senior running back a little extra push, and Harris's helmet falls off, so we'll see Jeremy Ulrich for the first time today.
And that is a Texas Plains Federal Credit Union first down. I want to thank MediPark Pharmacy for being the first quarter clock sponsor.
There you see big Craig Watts, number 64, coming in at the back end of that play, trying to push Harris forward a little bit. It'll be a 1st and 10. WT going to the air. This is Ward Hudson, and Hudson has some blockers out in front, and he'll get inside the 20-yard line and be brought down. Actually, I believe they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 21. He stepped out of bounds, so they'll move the ball back outside the red zone and mark him at the 21-yard line.
You can see it right there on the 2J Motors instant replay. That right foot touches white. And that's where they'll set up shop.
Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. WT with the 1st and 10, already up 17-7, looking to add on. Vaughn with 2 receivers to his left, looking that way, fires for Roan again, and Roan has a man to beat, and now he's got Terrence Allen blocking for him, and Roan gets into the end zone for the 2nd time today.
So now he's taking it personally. His 4th touchdown on the year, Jerry and Roan making a habit out of it.
Doubling up what he came into today's game with, 2 touchdowns on the season entering today, and now 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter, and the Buffs up 23-7, awaiting the extra point from Sergio Castillo. 1st and 10 for the Buffs. Ball on the 35-yard line. Vaughn handing off, and Aaron Harris with some running room plunges his way across the 40-yard line, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for WT. They'll call it 2nd and 2.
If that's what it takes, let Aaron Harris wear the cowbell, because when you're getting first downs like that, I've got a fever, and the only prescription is what, Michael? More cowbell.
Harris on the ground again into ODU territory and brought down after a big pickup. So Aaron Harris, 2 carries here to start the second half for the Buff offense, and 2 big runs, and now a first down for the Buffs.
That's one of the things that we talked about in half that you had to do because of the way this defense was playing with their linebackers dropping into coverage, with the secondary kind of blanking it out, almost playing like a cover 4. So you're wanting to exploit their weakness, and if they're going to leave the middle wide open,
Vaughn going into the air. Short pass falls into the arms of both Jerry and Roan.
That has been a rare incompletion.
Actually, it was a complete pass.
Complete pass, I'm sorry.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
But watch Aaron Harris here, number 5.
Vaughn, 2 receivers split to each side. He hands off to Harris, and Harris hit immediately, but able to stretch out for a couple of yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and short for the Buffs.
Again, another way that they can get these running backs involved, and they did a good job on that main drive when they picked up a huge chunk of yards. Remember, it was Ulrich on the outside, just kind of ran a little pass pattern out to the flat. Dustin Vaughn hit him in stride, picked about 20 yards, 25 yards.
4 minutes gone by here in the second half. Dustin Vaughn and company with a 3rd and 5. Vaughn looking right, fires that way. The pass is complete, and it's going to be short of the first down as Jace Jackson couldn't get there, and we'll wait and see what WT's offense decides to do here.
This is the tempting phase, because you're wanting your
4th and 1 inside the 30-yard line.
I think
they're going to bring out Sergio Castillo for what will be.
Of course he's going to go for it. He has a policy about this, doesn't he? We'll talk about Nesbitt's policy on kicking field goals.
44-yard field goal for Sergio Castillo. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Buffs cut into Ohio Dominican's lead. Our score now 10-13 with 10:13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We're back after this.
You go back to last week, they were terrible on 3rd down. Their first drive today, they got the field goal. They were 2 for 3 on 3rd down, ended up 7 of 17. I thought that was a big difference. Nuggets head coach Michael Malone said his team was no longer going to talk about the playoffs. So right now, they don't have to worry about that. But it's hard not to wonder what this team would look like if it had gotten solid quarterback play this season, and hard not to wonder what it might look like in the future if Kirk Cousins is indeed wearing blue and orange. You want to take your steps or anything?
No. We're just going cold. Yeah,
okay.
we're going at you. We're going at you.
I understand that you're an Eagles fan. You're teamed up with DT tonight. Are you going to be okay playing with a Bronco? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the View House Centennial. We're just a short drive from here. The Broncos began week 3 of OTAs today, and a couple big names not in attendance. Von Miller, Emmanuel Sanders, and Demaryius Thomas all absent today. Vance Joseph saying it was no big deal. Remember, these workouts are voluntary. What those absences did was give a chance to the young rookie wide receivers to make a name for themselves today. Both Cortland Sutton and Deshaun Hamilton had a chance to work with the first-team offense. Now, it is just OTAs, so nothing they do today going to make or break what happens once the season starts, but they did get a big nod of approval from their head coach after practice. To baseball, and the Rockies taking the day to lick their wounds after being swept by the Dodgers yesterday. The Rockies have the day off. They have lost 4 straight games. Yesterday's loss especially tough when you consider the fact that they led 6-1 after the 2nd inning. Then with the game tied at 7 in the 9th, Wade Davis gave up 3 earned runs, 2 of them coming on this home run from Yasmani Grandal. The Dodgers went on to get a 10-7 win. Rockies going to begin a 3-game series in Cincinnati tomorrow night. It was the Steph Curry show last night in Oakland. The Warriors guard set a new NBA Finals record with 9 3-pointers, including this ridiculous heave to beat the shot clock. Steph led all scorers with 33. The good news for the Cavs is that games 3 and 4 are in Cleveland, and Cleveland has lost just 1 game at home this postseason, but LeBron James doesn't want to hear anything about that. Game 3 will be on Wednesday night. Coming up here tonight at 6:30, CU head coach Mike McIntyre going to join us as we talk some Buffs football, guys.